Hey friends, my name is Sherry Sutton and I am your marketing mentor. Today we're going to talk about how do you stand out from the crowd. We are all in very competitive markets, and if you're not, then you're probably not listening to me because you got enough business that you don't need to worry about marketing, but you will eventually because you will get competitors. But for the rest of us, we all have a lot of competition out there. So how do you stand out from the crowd? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So let me put up my slides. All right. So, how do you stand out from the crowd and grow your business? So, your audience sees 10,000 marketing messages a day. No wonder we feel so overwhelmed, right? With so many different messages coming in, especially with the advent of AI, creating marketing has become so much easier. Now, is it good marketing? That's a whole other issue. But we're starting to see a massive influx of all the different social media platforms, emails still out there, texting. We see 10,000 marketing messages a day. So, how could you possibly try to stand out? People tend to ignore the marketing that doesn't meet their exact needs right now. So, what does that tell you? It tells you a few things. One, you need to be very clear that you are meeting their exact need. That means you need to be super, super clear in your marketing about exactly what you do. And this is very, very challenging. It often is very challenging for an entrepreneur to be able to see sort of from inside their own business, right? My favorite phrase is, we can't see the label from inside the bottle. This is really, really tough. It's something that I get coaching on in my business because I know that it's something that we all struggle with and that I help all of my clients to figure out, which is how do I articulate exactly what they need? We're going to talk about that here a little bit more over the course of this training. And then something that they need right now. One of the things, sometimes you'll know, sometimes you won't. But one of the most important things is making sure that you are in front of your client at the exact time that they're ready to buy. Often you don't know when that is. So that means that you have to be out there on a regular basis, right? To make sure that you are in front of them at the moment that they're ready to buy, right? And so that's an incredibly important part. So what do you do with all, like, this is a lot already. We're 4 slides in and it's already feeling like a lot. But don't worry, right? Don't panic. I'm going to talk about 3 ways, 3 things to consider to stand out from the crowd. So the first one is really understanding your customers. The second one is creating an irresistible product. And the third one is creating a magnetic message. So we're going to talk about these in a little bit more detail. So the first one is knowing your customers. So, oh, sorry, my graphic got a little messy there. The most important thing is understanding where your clients are now and where do they want to be. And that might feel very simplistic, but we're going to talk about this in a minute. You want to do this from an emotional state as well as from a logistical state. So you don't want to say, well, if they, let's use weight loss for an example. Most everybody can identify with that. Okay, so let's use a weight loss coach, for example. Where are they now? Well, they're feeling overweight. What's their ideal future state? Well, they want to be able to fit into their skinny jeans or they want to lose 10 pounds, right? Those are those are the actual tactical things that they're going to get, the physical things that they're going to get. But don't forget about the emotional. So when you're thinking about what your clients really need, where are they now and where do they want to be? What's their ideal state? You want to go to the emotion of it as well. So things like how great would it feel when you zip up those jeans? How great would it feel when you can confidently walk into a room, right? Or whatever those emotions are, those are the types of messages that are really, really powerful. We're going to talk about this more in a couple minutes, but really spend some time. And I do this with my clients when we work on their marketing plan done in a day. We spend a lot of time on this. Where are your clients now and where do they want to be, and really diving in, because that helps you understand how to talk to them, because you always want to start with where are you now and where do you want to be, because that's where the most powerful marketing happens. Okay, so number two is to create an irresistible product. For some of you, you already have a product. So let's say you work for a multi level marketing company or something like that. You already have your products. But I still think that there is a way for many of you that you can create a bundle of different products together and make them even more irresistible than maybe they are when they come to you, right? So even though you may not be creating your product, the way you put them together can often be innovative and a way for you to stand out from the crowd. So, a product for everyone is a product for no one. So, creating a really compelling product is incredibly important. So, let me give you an example of that. So, I hear this from a lot of entrepreneurs. Well, I want to be able to sell my weight loss product to everyone. I want everyone can use this. Well, that's true, but when we go back to understanding the needs of our clients, right? Where are they now and where do they want to be? Well, there's going to be differences depending on the audience, right? I'm not currently at a place in my life where I'm interested in maybe losing that much weight, or I just want to lose a few pounds and it's just, no, now I'm going to TMI you, but it's just hormonal weight, which is very different maybe than someone who has had, real struggles with their eating over time or have a lot of weight to lose, right? Those needs are going to be very different. So the way you're going to talk to someone who has gained 10 pounds of hormonal weight is going to be very different than, let's say, somebody who needs to, wants to lose, let's say, 100 pounds or more, right? The way you're going to talk to them is very different. And so you want to create products and talk about your products towards a very specific audience with a very specific need. The more specific you are with your product, yes, the smaller your audience will be, but the more likely they are to buy because it's going to satisfy their specific need. Think about, vanilla ice cream, right? Yeah, everyone wants to buy vanilla ice cream, but they still do very specific marketing around why you want that particular ice cream, right? And you could think about brands that, in the grocery store, they've got different labels, right? Different colors, the best you've ever tasted, or they're a little sugar free or something like that. So creating a product that really stands out, because again, a product created for everyone is a product created for no one. So you really need to understand, who is my audience? Where are they now? Where do they want to be? And how do I create a product that meets their specific need? It will decrease your audience, but that's okay. If you try to go out and connect with every single person, you will not be able to connect with them because they're seeing 10,000 messages a day. And unless you're solving rather a problem that they have right now, that they know that they have and they're willing to buy right now and they're ready to buy right now, you're not going to grab their attention. So, as I said a moment ago, your product needs to solve a need that they know they have and that they want to solve. I'm going to say that again because it's just a little twist on what a lot of us think when we think about our marketing our product. So your product must solve a need knows they have that they want to solve. I see a lot of people, especially coaches, who we get so into our models of healing, those types of things, and we go right to the solution. We're like, you know what you really need? You really need to do your human design chart, because then you're going to understand everything you need to know about yourself, which I love human design. And I totally agree. But what's their pain point right now? What's their specific pain point right now that they want to solve? Maybe it's, I'm not sure how to get the people around me I don't know, I'm a leader and I don't know how to get my team to rally around my cause, right? That might be a specific need right now, and you can go and market that to specific leaders. Or I'm an entrepreneur and I feel like I'm stalled, or I'm not being efficient with my time. How do I figure out what's going on with me, right? Then you can talk to them about, oh, well, human design is the challenge to that. So you want to start with the challenge first, and a challenge that they know that they have, because they don't know that they need a human design chart. They know that they can't manage their time very well, for an example. And then you tell them, oh, the best way we can figure this out is understanding your human design chart and then, creating a plan for you based on your specific personality. As opposed to marketing to them and saying, hey, you need a human design chart because it's going to solve your life. I hope that kind of little shift in the way we market ourselves is so different. I have a client who we went through this process recently, and she did a 3-month program with me, and we changed her messaging just a little bit to be about her clients and needs and not her product line. And she grew her Instagram followers by like 50% in a week. This shift in what you're talking about and what you offer is significant and I promise you, make a huge difference in your business. Okay, so number 3 is creating a magnetic message. So we've talked about these ideas a little bit already, right? So now you know exactly what your clients' challenges are. You've created a product that solves those challenges, but now how do you communicate that with your target audience to get them to buy? We talked about this a little bit already, but great marketing takes people on a journey from where they are now to where they want to be. That's why back in number 1, we talked about understanding where are they now and where do they want to be. And the reason why we did that is because now that translates into the actual marketing messages. And magnetic messages, they really marry the psychological need with what you have to offer. So where are they now? What's their psychological need right now? And how do you solve it? And so some questions that you can ask yourself: what are my customer challenges? How am I solving them with my product? What needs are being met, right? How does an ad or my marketing message, whatever it is, stand out? And I love this over here on the right-hand side. I'm not going to go too into it, but it's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And you really want to spend some time on this and say, who are my clients now and how do I help them solve it? The needs down here are your basic human needs, right? So this is a really great place to have a product offer, is if it's down here in your basic human needs. I remember I worked at a grocery store in high school and in college, and I remember my boss, I asked him, like, why a grocery store, right? He had a grocery store and he had a liquor store. Why a grocery store? And he said to me, like, focus on the most basic human needs and you will always have a business, right? People always need food and they always need alcohol, unless you're me and you used to drink too much alcohol and now you're sober. But that's a whole discussion for another day. But really having a product line that really focuses on these needs is really important. And it's a great way to connect with your audience. The next set of needs are your psychological needs. And these are self-esteem needs like prestige, feeling of accomplishment, belonging and love needs, right? These are your intimate relationships. These are your friendships, right? So these can be things like, do you want to buy that big house? Do you want to have, a new BMW, right? BMW advertising is all based right here in prestige, right? It is a basic need. And they might talk a little bit about safety, but that's not where they're deciding to put their messaging. They're putting their messaging up here in psychological needs around prestige. Now, there are other products that have made the decision, car products, that have made the decision that they're gonna go down here more on the basic needs, and they're gonna talk about safety, right? Safety is our number 1 priority. Can't remember who that is, but I know it's one of the car manufacturers. But if you look at luxury cars, they're like, you know what? We want to be up here in these psychological needs. Then the next step is your self-fulfilling needs, right? So these are like achieving one's full potential. So as a marketing coach, right, I try to talk about all 3 of these. So it's like, get the money that you need to raise your family and meet your basic needs, right? Have this incredible feeling of accomplishment and of making a difference in the lives of other people and really feel like you're achieving your full potential. That's a great way of messaging someone that really takes into account all of these. So as you're thinking about your messaging, think about, where do I fall in the hierarchy of their needs, and how can I use that as a message to talk to them? And you want to start every piece of content with the emotion and not the solution. So I even, and I have this something called the constant content formula. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute, but there's a constant content formula where we always start with, what is their challenge? And especially if you can tie it to one of these needs, even more so, down here, because that's what everyone has, then you're going to have an even more powerful message. So always start your content with an emotion and not the solution first. I hope this was really helpful. So we talked about 3 different things. 1, knowing your customers. Where are they now? Where do they want to be? Creating an irresistible product that solves their need. And then understanding where they are psychologically and emotionally to create a magnetic message that's going to draw them in and make them want to buy. So I hope this was helpful. I know it's a lot, but I hope it's going to start getting your wheels kind of turning. If you need some help with thinking through these things, I am here. I'm a marketing mentor. This is what I talk about with my clients all day long. I've got 2 different things I wanted to tell you about. The first one is my marketing plan done in a day. Don't worry if doing something all in a day is too much for you. We can do it over a few days. But it's a marketing plan done in a day where we're going to sit down and we're going to go through all of these things. So we're going to talk about, what's your superpower? Who do you want to serve? How do we understand where they are now, where they want to be? And then how do we create a magnetic message and product line that's going to drive business? And then, of course, what are the activities that you're going to do on an ongoing basis? What's the content that you're going to create on an ongoing basis to drive new business? And so that's what we do in our marketing plan done in a day. It's a super intense process, but super, super valuable. I'm also going to start, it's probably actually not going to start till January, but I'm starting to talk a little bit about it now. So if you're interested in this, let me know. But I have a course that I'm working on called the Constant Content Formula. And I've presented it a little bit in small pieces before, but we're really putting a lot of meat behind it, a lot of research behind it, and making it very easy for you to feel like you understand this process of what are my clients' needs? How do I create the product that matches with them? And then how do I create a magnetic message that's going to draw them in? And where do I do that? Where do I put that magnetic message? Is it in reels? Is it, in front of an audience by speaking? How do I actually do that? And that's what we're going to talk about in this Constant Content Club. So you're going to get a training program at the beginning, and then we're going to have a private Facebook group where we do lots of networking, lots of co-working, masterminds, all sorts of fun stuff. Because I don't know about you guys, I hate having those programs where I just get something and then frankly I never watch it, and then I feel like I wasted my money. So this way you've got both, right? We'll be presenting it, I'll be presenting it for you live. You can watch the program on your own. You can bounce in and out of the Facebook group to network with other people and mastermind with other people doing the same thing. So if you're interested in getting on the wait list for this, let me know. We're going to probably be starting in January, right after the first of the year. And if you happen to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you know all this stuff, you just need a little help creating your content because you hate sitting there in front of your phone like, I'm overwhelmed. I have a great program. It's called Social Content Made Easy. You come to my studio in McKinney, Texas, and we hang out together and we put together all of your content. We take pictures, we do some videos so that when you sit down to actually create your posts, you've got some pieces that are ready for you to use, and we'll actually put together your whole content calendar for the month. So this is a great program. If you just know you need a little help with content, all of this information is on my website. It's sherrysutton.com. Here's the information. Here's my email, my phone number. Feel free to text me, DM me, whatever questions you might have. And I do these trainings pretty regularly. So if you have any topics that you would like to talk about, please let me know. I would love to help you to grow your business. It is my passion to help people grow their businesses and find their voice through entrepreneurship. I know for me, the process of becoming an entrepreneur was also the unfolding of my authenticity and my willingness to speak authentically. And so I hope that I can help you go through that same process as well. So have a fabulous day. Talk to you soon. Mwah.